Hello, I'm Master D'Souza from Martial Arts Advantage, and I wanted just to pass along for Mother's Day, a woman's self-defense video. I'm just going to give you some tips. It's not going to be a long video. First thing I wanted to say is that women, you have some advantages and some disadvantages. The advantages that you have is you follow your intuition much more than men do. So you're more intuitive, and that's a good thing. Trust that intuition, follow that. If it's telling you something isn't safe, something doesn't feel right, that's good. The disadvantage that you have is you're often targets, and especially by men, you're often targets. So that's something that you have to be aware of. So if you're in a situation like that and your intuition's telling you, I don't know, something's funny, that would be a good time to follow that intuition. Okay, guys, here are some basic tips that can help you in a self-defense situation or mindset. First thing is be able to access 911 very fast on your phone. One great thing about these days is we have cell phones. You know, it used to be landlines or pay phones. Now you have the cell phone. So if you can access that quickly, then that gives the bad guy a certain amount of time. They're on the clock now. It may be 3 minutes, 4 minutes before law enforcement gets there. But that's such an important tool to be able to access that quickly. Another thing is, honestly, is to be in shape. Let me ask you this question. Could you get out of a window if you had to? Could you jump off a second story if you had to and land and not be in terrible condition? Could you crawl on the ground or your driveway if you had to? So conditioning and being in shape, and that's why in our school when we practice, so much of it is, a lot of it is conditioning. It's just being in top shape will help you in so many situations. I always used to watch those Rocky movies, and they'd always say, how can he take such a butchering like that? And it's because of his workout and because of the shape that he was in. So very, very important that that becomes something that you're aware of. And also develop your voice and develop an attitude. Develop a self-defense type of attitude and mindset. And very, very important. And be willing to turn on violence when you have to. I know some people, think about if a dog jumped on you and the dog started biting you. Would you like talk to the dog? Oh, come on, doggy, get off. After a while, you'd just be like, get the heck off me. Okay, so you have to have sort of that same mindset that you have to be willing to use violence if necessary. And that's something that's a moral question sometimes that you have to ponder through. But I notice women, you have a little bit of trouble with that. So some of you do. So that's something that I want you to just in your own mind kind of contemplate. Thanks, Shel. All right, good. Okay, third thing. Okay, another thing I'd like to share with you is rehearse in your mind self-defense situations. Do you know the bad guy rehearses? The bad guy fantasizes what he's going to do to his victim, how he's going to do this, how he's going to do that. We, in our own mind, have to rehearse escapes. We have to rehearse, what window would I kick out and get out if somebody came in? Where could I access a knife really quick if somebody came in? Where would this and that? So, you know, in school, kids do fire drills. And that's a very, very good exercise to do at home. What window would I go? What if I was trapped in this room? How could I get out? All right, so, you know, it doesn't have to be a huge major production, but you may want to think of these things. These are valuable, especially if someone breaks into your home or in your automobile. How would I get out? What door? Could I lean back and kick this window out? If I was in the truck, you know what we used to say, leave all kinds of DNA if you get caught in the trunk. Spit, pull your hair out, do all kinds, so eventually they could trace and get back to the killer. All right, but you know, a lot of these little things, not to scare anybody, but a lot of these little things we want to think about and how we can access in a self-defense situation. Okay, guys, now, let's say an attacker approaches you, or you got a funny feeling and somebody's approaching you, all right, and this is Miss Savannah, and I'm going to approach her maybe kind of similar to like an attacker would do, and maybe come up.
Get back! Stay back!
Notice she uses arm's length, has her feet apart, and uses her voice very, very well in this situation. Now, what if I keep going in?
Get back!
She has to make a choice. If she can't run away, if she can't get out of there, she has to make the choice. When he comes in range, I've got to hit him. I've got to hit him, okay? Because if I get in too close, then the fight gets a little unfair, all right? But when she has the opportunity, she has to take it. So she's instructed me to back off. She's instructed me. But as soon as I approach her bubble, her space, that's when she let go and hit. Now, what she's going to do is exploit weak areas, the eyeballs. No matter how many weights I can lift, I'm not strengthening those eyeballs. They're vulnerable. Throats tend to be vulnerable. A lot along the center line, solar plexus. You always hear women, kick them in the groin. Well, that's probably a favorite amongst you guys. But that's a center line type of thing. So, that's why when we fight and spar, we put our shoulder forward because we can take hits there. But we want to avoid getting our center hit. But you want to hit the center if it's a bad guy. So Miss Savannah can take her palms and strike me in the chin. She can take her fingers and poke eyes or hit with the throat with her fingers or maybe with a little fist like that. And everything we're showing you doesn't take fancy motor skills. You can do nervous. You can do tense. You can hit. You can do that. You might not be able to jump in the air or something and do fancy kicks, but you can definitely just do a little palm heel. And a palm heel is very good to utilize. It's very, very powerful. We hit lots of boards with it. Another tool you can use are your elbows. Elbows are really good. So if she's in reverse too, she can bring back elbow or to the body or boom, right. Elbows are a very, very powerful tool that you can use in practice. Hit a pillow, or if you have a bag, work at hitting the bag. Fingertips, and especially women with fingernails. So she pokes me in the eyes and then scratches. That's never fun, okay? Yeah. So when we do fast self-defense is when we put on equipment and we actually attack the women, they'll actually yell out the targets. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Throat, groin, and they'll actually yell out the targets because that will keep you from getting nervous. If you're thinking, oh my goodness, if he could hurt me, he could hurt my children, and all that goes in your mind, guess what? Your legs are going to be heavy, you're going to freeze. But if you think this dude gets any closer, I'm going for his eyes. Eyes is all I'm thinking about. Then, if you're thinking targeting, then you've got a better chance that you won't freeze. So if I'm coming in and I'm...
Stay back! Get back!
Come on, lady, come on.
Yeah!
Right. She turned on the violence at the right time. She hit hard. Okay, now men, we have a tendency of staying there and wanting to finish the job. You're best off hitting, and getting out of dodge. And hitting that 911 again if you can, okay? So this was just some basic tips, some basic things. I hope this helped. We would love to offer you a special, if you'd like to train all the moms, you do so much, you totally deserve it. We'd love to give you a month free of class. You could train in with kids. You can make this a family thing. What other thing can you do? Can you play on the soccer team? Can you play on the baseball team? Probably not. Okay, but you can definitely come in and do martial arts with them. We'll also include a free uniform with that. So we'd love to have you come in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us feedback if you would. And have an awesome Mother's Day. Thank you guys so much.